If you are doing esports, you have to do that. That's all that matters. Which means that if you would like to explain to people why esports is relevant, you need to show numbers, of course. If you would like to sell a product, like sell a team for sponsors, you also have to go for numbers. Like that's the major thing that counts. If you want to sell esports, you need to present high numbers. But you need to be careful, because we are talking about a major phenomenon with a growth that is really exceptional. We're talking 10 to 15% growth every single year when it comes to revenue, when it comes to audience. Esports is growing, especially when it comes to the audience. And esports is also growing when it comes to market value. But at the same time, we are actually talking about the esports winter at the moment, because esports, like other industries, is right in the middle of a recession, I'd say. So it is more and more difficult to be successful. And esports organizations and tournament organizers and so on are heavily influenced by money that might not be that unproblematic. A lot of sponsors, for example, are gambling companies. There is a thing called sports washing. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's pretty common in sports as well. Have a look at the Premier League, for example, all Saudi Arabia owned. It's the same with esports by now. ESL Faceit Group, which started out as a German thing, then it was sold to the Swedes, I think, and then like 2 years now, they were bought by the Saudi Savvy Group. So they are actually a Saudi company, and it's the same with others as well. So you have to be aware that the money that is spent there, the money that comes in, might be a bit problematic. It might be because they are just interested in the quick buck, but it might also be that it's actually pretty tough to find a business model that works, because another problem with esports is that the audience doesn't pay. The average esports user spends $5 a year, not on his team, but on esports in general. If you have a look at sports fans, this number is way higher. It's more than tenfold. And the reason for that is because it just started out like that. If you go to Twitch, if you go to YouTube, you expect the content to be for free. And therefore, it is pretty difficult to create a sustainable revenue model for companies working in esports. And then there's this whole influencer thing. You need to find content creators, influencers, people within the scene that work for you, that wear your colors, but at the same time create content that works well, that is well received, that has enough viewers, that is relevant, and so on and so on and so on. So a pretty difficult thing to understand and to make a profit from. If we'd like to do a CS:GO tournament, we are actually we are not only looking for a team to play, we are also looking for a structure to do our tournament in, and still we need to get the game from a publisher. So we need to be aware that there's a number of layers that we need to approach to understand how to bring this to our school. There's a major difference between open circuits and so-called franchise leagues. Counter-Strike, for example, or Dota, they are so-called open circuits. So everyone is allowed to do a tournament. If we're talking franchise leagues, you are actually talking about paying for a slot in the league. And if you have some experience about Overwatch and have heard how this worked out and what the price was for the slots, we are talking $20 million to participate in a league that didn't prove its value. and hasn't proven yet and will probably fail, that is actually quite a lot of money. Especially if you know that a large number of the teams participating didn't even pay.